Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. So we're going to talk about Vechain price, and yes, before you say anything, yes, Bitcoin did get hard rejected at 40,000, so it didn't clear that last hurdle yet. We're going to talk about why $1 Vechain is not unrealistic. A lot of people in the comments say like, "Oh, be realistic. It can't reach $1 by the end of the year," but that's actually not all that unrealistic. And we're going to compare it to some other things and how Vechain has actually grown. Bitcoin today has grown in the last 24 hours like 9.3%. VeChain, you can see, has grown more at 11.44. When Bitcoin was around 40,000, VeChain was like almost at 9 cents, which is a growth of over 20% for the day. So, as Bitcoin goes in a linear growth path, VeChain will go in a parabolic growth path. That's basically how it's been. And I don't really have any doubt that when we reach 60,000 again, VET will be around 25, 26 cents. And I'm pretty sure we will reach 60,000 sometime by the end of this year. And I still like all these things depend on Bitcoin reaching around 100,000, which I do think Bitcoin will reach 100,000 by the end of this year. You've seen how fast Bitcoin can come up. Like we were basically at 30,000 like less than a week ago. And in a week, we went from 30 to testing 40 again. And I do think we will break through 40 sooner or later, even though this was a hard rejection. So you have to keep that in mind. As Bitcoin goes up linearly, altcoins and the smaller the alts, the more parabolic they grow. So, like if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, which is a 3x, a much smaller coin like VeChain, especially with POA 2.0 in the wings, because they've already moved on to their testnet, they're gonna have their community vote, and emerging DeFi and NFTs, which aren't going to be that great on Bitcoin. They're going to grow much, much higher, especially like if it gets listed on Coinbase as well. Like those factors do measure in. Coinbase isn't huge for something like a coin like VET that has a lot of on ramps, but it would be a nice little boost. I think basically the DeFi, the NFTs are going to have a much bigger effect, and also the release of POA 2.0 as it plays out. So let's actually look at why $1 VET isn't like unrealistic by the end of the year. Because if you really think about it, like it does depend on Bitcoin going to 100,000. And the thing is, like at $1 VET, you'd only have a market cap of about 64.32 billion. That is the circulating supply of VET. I'm not really sure when they're going to release the other 20 billion, but that is the circulating supply of VET right now. So 64.32 billion. Let's take a look at perspective. When Bitcoin is basically at $100,000, it by itself will be slightly over $2 trillion or around $2 trillion in market cap. I think it might be like 1.8 because there's only 18 million Bitcoin that have actually been mined out there. So about 1.8. And I do think the dominance of Bitcoin as it reaches that will actually be less than 33% or even 30%, because as we've seen, as Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up parabolically in relation to Bitcoin, and the dominance of BTC over the entire market actually goes down as it goes up higher. So by the time it reaches the 100,000, I think the dominance will be 30%, if not lower, which means the entire market cap of crypto will actually be at around $6 trillion or more. So we're looking at about $6 trillion market cap for all of crypto by the end of the year. So, if you look at 64.32 billion market cap and compare it to a $6 trillion market cap for all of crypto, you're looking at maybe VeChain taking up 1% of the entire crypto market cap. That's not a lot of market cap. That's really not like unsustainable or, like completely unrealistic. I'm not saying 589 XRP takes over the entire market cap and is like double or triple the entire US GDP. That's crazy. But like 1% of the entire crypto market cap at the height of the bull run is not that crazy. And like, where would VeChain list in terms of, what rank would it actually have? Would it be near the top? Would it be one of the top 5 coins? No, even if you don't count USDT and USDC, which actually USDT and USDC may not even be top 10 anymore by the when that happens, because they haven't really printed USDT for a long time because of regulatory fears. And USDC, even though they are printing it, when we really have a bull market, they won't print nearly as fast as the value of other coins go up. So those two are probably not going to be in the top 10, especially if Tether spontaneously combusts, which I don't think it will. And USDC won't print fast enough. Same thing with BUSD to actually stay in the top 10. So what will the top 10 kind of look like based on today's rankings? So Bitcoin at 100K would actually be 2 trillion. It would still be at the top. Ethereum, I think, would be pretty close to 10K, and I have to readjust my predictions for Ethereum if I think Bitcoin's going to get to 100K, because I think Ethereum is going to rise faster than Bitcoin. So it's probably going to be pretty close to 10, like 8 or 10K by the end of the year if Bitcoin gets to 100K, and it'll be at around $1 to $1.2 trillion market cap, solidly above Vechain's 64.32 billion market cap. So BNB would still be above Vechain. Now, right now, you're saying, oh, but it's only at 51.427 billion. That's true, but right now, Bitcoin's only at 37K. If Bitcoin was at 100K, all these coins have to be higher. So you have to rank Vechain at $1 compared to the market caps of where these coins would be when Bitcoin is 100K. So, BNB, when you actually have Bitcoin at 100K, I think the market cap of BNB would be around $400 billion, which is 8 times what it is right now. And ADA would similarly be around $400 billion. I do actually think ADA is going to rise percentage-wise more than BNB in the summer because of smart contracts and the hype building around it now that they finally got a Coinbase listing as well. So I think ADA will also be around $400 billion market cap. XRP, I'm not really going to do like a prediction on what's going to happen because I don't really know how that legal thing's going to work out, and that's going to affect it a lot. Doge, I think, will be above 80 billion as well. I mean, depends on what Elon Musk does, but I think if Bitcoin starts skyrocketing, Doge can see like 75, 80 cents, if not more. So it will be around 80 to 100 billion, and still be above VeChain's $64 billion market cap. Polkadot, likewise, because of the parachain auctions that are actually coming, I do actually think Polkadot will also be above VeChain, and it'll probably be at around $100 billion plus, especially with the parachains coming out. So, and also after that, you've got like Uniswap, which will blow up with DeFi once Bitcoin starts to recover. You've got Chainlink, which could definitely go up with DeFi. And then you have Solana and Matic, which will definitely Solana is going to be a dark horse. Sam Bankman-Fried is going to bring stuff into it, and Matic, of course, or Polygon, is going to skyrocket because people are going to be looking for layer 2 solutions. So I've just mentioned like 10 right there. So with VET reaching $1 at the height of the bull at Bitcoin 100K, and $64.32 billion market cap. It actually still might be, even if you don't count the stablecoins, it still might be on the outside of the top 10 looking in. So it's not out of the question that it actually reaches that kind of market cap at $1, because it still wouldn't be a top 10 coin. It'd probably be like number 11 or number 12. I do think it would probably flip BCH and LTC, because BCH and LTC don't really have that much of a purpose. So even without the stablecoins, because they're not really going to be a factor in the bull, they're not going to be like a factor in market cap during the bull run. VeChain at $1 by the end of the year when Bitcoin's 100,000 is not something crazy when you compare it to the market cap of what other coins would be when Bitcoin's 100,000. Because it would probably still be number 11, number 12. Yes, it would move up a couple of ranks. It'd probably skip BCH and LTC, and I think it would probably flip XLM and maybe ICP and ETC. But it wouldn't actually be like top 3 or top 5 or like even top 10. It'd probably be still on the outside looking in at $1. So that's why it's not completely unreasonable. Also, if you look at VET at $1 at $64.32 billion market cap and compare it to, like the biggest companies in the stock market, it doesn't even make the top 100. Apple was number 1, of course, and like number 100 is still $138.93 billion. I mean, I don't even think it really makes the top 200. Yeah, it doesn't even make the top 200, which is China Tourism Group duty free, which is like, 79.19 billion. So it's probably somewhere between 200 and 300 in terms of the world's biggest companies. So while it would be like comparable to a Fortune 500 company, it would be like in the mid or lower Fortune 500. So realistically, that's also a reason why it actually wouldn't be all that unreasonable. So based on those things, that Bitcoin's growth rate and VeChain's parabolic growth rate compared to Bitcoin's linear growth rate, like a lot of other coins, the fact that it still would be on the outside of the top 10 looking in, even at Bitcoin 100K, even at like the price of $1, and the fact that when you compare it with Fortune 500 companies, it would only be in like the mid to lower Fortune 500. that kind of market cap and that kind of price for VeChain is not really all that high of a prediction when Bitcoin at 100K. And I do think Bitcoin can get to 100K by the end of this year. So that's why it's not like one of those XRP 589 predictions, or like the 10,000, like XRP was made to be $10,000, or, like X coin was made to be X, or like, Shiba Inu is going to like a penny. Just calculate like how much money that would be based on the supply of Shiba Inu. So, if you really like look at the math of these things, if you really look at the numbers, you can see that $1 VET is very achievable by the end of this year if Bitcoin gets to 100K, and it actually might be selling it a bit short. So, don't be really all that surprised. Don't think it's unreasonable, because it is actually reasonable, but only and only if and only if Bitcoin gets to 100K, because that's kind of where I think it'll be, like outside of the top 10 looking in, and that's kind of the price it has to be like number 11, number 12 on the crypto list at that time. And of course, comparing to the world's biggest companies, still be like, somewhere between 2 and 300. So that's what I have to say for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.